Okay, we're going to try this again. My name is Aron Koosis. This is the final project for Web Analytics, as you can see here. Web Analytics with Professor Aron. Now, this is all about web analytics and doing a sort of tutorial, because unfortunately I don't know anybody who works directly in the field of web analytics, so I couldn't interview anybody. So I'm going to do a basic tutorial and talk a little bit about the company that I use throughout the whole course and why they do what they do, why they're successful, and what they need to continue to do. And as you can see here, this is the company that I use throughout the whole course, Zappos.com. Well known for mostly their shoes, but as you can see on this website, it's not just shoes. Shoes, clothing, handbags, accessories, watches, boutiques, etc. Now, how did they get this big and this popular? Well, it all has to do with how they go about using web analytics, which is what the course is all about. Web analytics is the study of trends. It is the ability to turn around and take your customers' needs and turn them into sales. How do you do that? You do that by studying different trends of what's selling, who's it selling to, what time is it selling, what part of the country is it selling to, is it male or female who's buying it, you know, all these bits and pieces of information that you would not believe. What time they're buying it, what day of the week they're buying it, what month they're buying it. All this information is synthesized into different reports that Zappos uses to decide what sells, why it sells, and what they need to do to different areas within their company to make sure that they continue to sell. And areas that are not doing well, they can then turn around and go and see why they're not doing well. All by just studying the trends or the analytics, or analyzing, to be honest with you, the trends that is either working or failing. And they really were one of probably the first companies to capitalize on this, because when it started, they weren't really making that much money. Now they're a company that makes over $3 billion a year. And the reason they were able to grow this fast and be an online company and remain here that long in the growing pond of insanity that is the internet is the fact that they have used analytics to their advantage. They continually use that information. So the minute it comes off the phone or the computer, it is used. It is not left somewhere on the sales floor. It is not left somewhere in a corner. It is literally used the minute it comes hot off the press. Customer service agents hand it directly to those in charge of analytics the minute it is done with the sale. It is that kind of aggressive, trend setting, following up, and understanding what works and what doesn't work that has allowed this company that you hear, Zappos.com, to be as successful as they have become. Now, what do these things that I talk about, these trends, these reports, what do they sort of look like? And why are they being used? Well, obviously they're being used, like I said, to improve sales and customer service behavior, what they could do better, what they need to concentrate on. All right, now if I look at a Google Analytics page here, this is a little bit of information off of my personal blog that I started at the beginning of this course. Not this course, I should say, I'm sorry, at the beginning of this particular internet marketing program, dealing with a little bit about a possible move to Florida and other areas of my life at the moment. And this gives you some examples off of Google Analytics that shows you sort of what the reports may look like and why they're being used, so you can get a better sense of it. Now again, what you see here is very limited because it's simply off of my particular blog information. But if you take a look here, it's just an example of it here. All right, this is all the people when they came to take a look at what I've done or what I haven't done. What you have here on this report is you have important information such as how many people came to look, if this was actually like Zappos, how many users came in to buy, bounce rate. If I had the wrong email address and I had sent that out to somebody, all of a sudden it bounced back because it was the wrong address. Well, I need to change that, and why is there a problem? This would give you that information right here. How many pages they actually looked at, and for how long on my website. So it'll tell me where the customer is looking, how long they're looking, and at what page, how long they're actually looking at it for. Okay, they're 4 minutes and 32 seconds in this particular case. Again, everything broken down on what device. The desktop, the mobile device, any other type of options. And if you look down here on the sidebar, you will see all the different things that you can break this down by. Language, location, geographic, so who looked where, you know what I'm saying? Well, I had everybody look from, the US in one session, obviously. Behavior. So we go to new versus returning. In my case, it's just a blog. So it's just the general one person looking and checking information out. Frequency, how many of they came, how many page views were they? Do they check out just one page on my blog? Did they check out 3 pages? So you're asking yourself, well, why did they do all this? Why do they break all this down? What's so important about it? Why spend your time doing all this kind of nonsense? Think about the size of the internet. Think about how many people are on it every day adding a new website, blog, whatever you want to call it at the time. Every day there are people going on the internet and adding something new. And they are completely lost in the world that is surrounded in the internet. In the global internet world every day, someone's selling something, doing something, saying something. Every day something new is occurring. And every person who wants to grab just the remotest bit of success, unlike this example here where you see there's a bounce rate or how long people sit there for or whatever. Every bit of information that you can grab is so important, because if you don't use those trends and you don't follow the information that is available to you, what happens? You're lost. There's no one else out there. It could be like this blog that doesn't exist, pretty much. I mean, no one's paying a lot of attention to my blog because I haven't pushed it, because I haven't turned around and used the web analytics that we talked about through all of the class. I haven't turned around and say my blog is going to be a travel blog and say, okay, it's talking about moving to Florida. Well, what have I done about that? Well, I haven't used web analytics to turn around and say, okay, how can I direct this blog to people who might be wanting to move to Florida? Is it to retirees? Is it to vacationers? Is it to old? Is it to young? Is it to people who have money or students? There's so many different ways it could go. But I haven't targeted my audience. I haven't done the things necessary to get the kind of views and information necessary to get people's attention. So you're saying to yourself, well, is Google Analytics the only place you can do this? They may charge. I don't have money for this. I don't want to do that. I don't understand all these reports. Understandable, okay? It's not a hard thing to do, and there's a ton of free sites. I'll give you an example of a very popular one now called, it's pronounced Puic.org is the actual site. And here you can see their page, and it's very, very specific. It tells you, okay, it is the leading open source analytics platform that gives you more than just powerful analytics. Free open source software, so it's not like anything that's going to be blocked for your usage here. 100% data ownership. They're not keeping your stuff. It's your information to use when you want to use it, how you choose to use it. user privacy protection, user-centric insights, customizable, and extensible. And all you do is download that software. In most cases, just add a link to your particular website, blog, wherever it is that you're trying to get your analytics and your trends. You add a small link to your particular website, and this particular company does the rest. So all you'll get is all the information you need. Now they have 30-day trials, okay? And I'm sure they have lots of other opportunities. If I click here, if you take a look at their website, it'll say start your free trial. With a few clicks, these are the highlights, full service, analytics platform, and again, it's sort of everything that I discussed, okay? And I discussed the monthly price and so forth and so on, okay? Integrate with all the different companies, Commerce, SharePoint, Shopify, all the different possibilities about what you can do and what you can't do. And of course, there are different versions and different costs associated with different things depending on what you choose to do. And that's just one example. There are literally too many to count of these type of companies that are basically handing you the opportunity, saying, start a free trial, test us out, give us an opportunity to show you that not only can we give you the information, we can explain to you the best way to use it, and we can turn around and tell you how to use that information. So if you don't know yourself and you're not understanding the trends and you don't understand these reports, or you think I can't do this, these are the places that you can go to get your answers without driving yourself crazy, without saying it's not possible, and without saying that, oh my God, this is too overwhelming for me, what do I do? And so these companies are there for you to use. The analysis of trends, the importance of analytics, the importance of doing the work to be a decent sized fish in a humongous pond is the only way for you to be successful in the internet. If you're trying to sell, if you're trying to do a blog, if you're trying to do anything on the net that has some meaning. Because in the long run, every day, whether you're an author or a director or someone who does movies, whatever you want to do, even if it's just on YouTube, whatever you choose to do, if you want to stand out even the remotest little bit, you need to know who your customers are, what you're selling, why you're selling it, who you're trying to get their attention, why you're trying to get their attention, and how do you get that to that point? Where do you get that group of people's attention that you need to be successful? And this is how you do it. This is what you do. You follow the trends. You go to these companies that help you follow and understand the trends and use that trending information to your advantage. Because if you do that, you won't be failing on the internet. You'll be at the top. And I think that's where everyone wants to be.